Hi, it's Nikki here from Happy Hormones for Life. Today I am talking about sleep and particularly in respect to going through menopause, to how to sleep better before, during and after menopause. What is the link between menopause and sleep? Well, sleep is one of the most common complaints from women, particularly in our clinic. And, they're not alone because there was a US study recently that said 56% of women over 40 are getting less than 7 hours of sleep per night. And that's the amount of sleep that experts generally deem restful and healthy. So not only does it make us feel better generally, sleep, but it's also vital for long-term health. But I'm guessing you knew that, right? Because that's why it's so frustrating when you can't sleep. And that increased anxiety around that just makes everything worse. The good news is that we can do something about it. So I'm going to go through why sleep is so important, why they're linked, and what you can do about getting a better night's sleep. First of all, why is it important? Obviously, it's restorative. Physically, the body is restoring itself for the next day. It's clearing out toxins from the brain. And there's been really interesting research about the detoxification process of the brain during particularly deep sleep. It's information processing. It's when we put down our memory from the day. It's when the immune system strengthens and fortifies itself. It's when mood is regulated, and long-term good sleep reduces the risk of obesity, heart disease, diabetes, depression, cognitive decline, and a lot more. So many studies been done on it. If you think about it, nothing else has so many benefits with so little effort. You just lie down. It's brilliant. Why are sleep and menopause linked? Well, there's a whole host of things going on. Hormones. Our estrogen and progesterone, these two hormones have a vital role in promoting good sleep. Estrogen helps to produce serotonin, which then converts to melatonin, your sleep hormone, while progesterone helps to promote GABA, that calming neurotransmitter in your brain that helps the body relax. So no wonder that hormone changes through menopause can result in sleep issues. Cortisol is also having a little bit of a play here. Your stress hormone is going to keep your mind on full alert, the opposite of what your body needs at night. And when we test women's cortisol levels, we can see that when they surge at night, when they're not supposed to do that, that's going to have an impact on your sleep. It's your wake up hormone. Insulin, if your blood sugar is swinging from high to low all day long, then a low in the middle of the night is what's going to wake you up. And that's usually, that 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning thing when you really struggle to get back to sleep. Menopause can make this worse because we don't deal as well with insulin. And then lastly, serotonin, your happy hormone. It's also the building block of melatonin, your sleep hormone. So with estrogen helping to make serotonin, it can be affected, your levels can be affected as you go through menopause and estrogen declines. Stress is a massive factor. So too much stress of any kind is going to increase cortisol and adrenaline production, alters your natural circadian rhythm and your nervous system. And if your body's continuously doing this, or your body's in fight or flight mode all the time, it's not going to be relaxed enough to sleep properly. It's not rocket science, is it? And we know that midlife women report more stress than anybody else. Diet, we know that there are nutritional stresses out there. There are so many dietary factors that can increase cortisol and that can affect your sleep. So if you're stressed or you're busy, hello midlife, these can be hard habits to ditch. So what you want to watch out for, the sugar, refined carbs, the bad fats, the vegetable and plant seed oils, processed foods, food sensitivities, things you might be sensitive to, alcohol and caffeine if you're sensitive, not always, and dehydration. Those are the kind of things that are going to really mess with your sleep. Nutrient deficiencies too. The body needs certain nutrients to function, including to get you off to sleep. So that includes magnesium, tryptophan, which comes from protein, B vitamins, vitamin D, and the like, many more. And as we get older, we may not be absorbing those nutrients very well. Blood sugar balance, so important. Too much sugar or refined carbs can cause that blood sugar roller coaster, and that can go into your sleep. So menopause makes us more vulnerable to insulin resistance, which makes this whole thing worse. Your sleep environment is so important. Your evening habits can hugely disrupt your sleep if they're not managed. Artificial light is one of them. So light of any kind can interfere with production of melatonin. So you want to make sure that everything's dark. Gadgets, that blue light, but also the fact that your brain is stimulated if you're on them for late at night. If you're going to bed too late, you ideally want to benefit from that first cycle of sleep, and that's the hour and a half, usually before midnight. So because that's the most deepest and most restorative for the body. So getting that 1.5 hour cycle in before midnight can be really helpful. So ideally sleep by 10:30, 11. Not winding down before bed. So if you're not giving your body time to relax, it's not more likely going to be keeping you awake. Eating too late as well, if your body's busy digesting food, it's not going to be relaxing you. And if you're having alcohol or caffeine too late as well, both need to be managed if you're not sleeping well. So the first thing to do, really concentrate on, is stress management. So it's a non-negotiable if you're not sleeping very well. Remind yourself and prioritize your 15 to 20 minutes of me time every day to switch off that cortisol response, whether that's a warm bath, going for a walk in nature, reading a book, listening to music, doing yoga or meditation, whatever it is for you, to switch off that response. So important to get that in every single day. Number 2 is balancing your hormones. Easier said than done. But with insulin, you want to be balancing that blood sugar, so eating lots of protein and healthy fats at every meal, and making sure not too many refined carbs, but more complex carbs like fruit and veg mainly. Estrogen, progesterone, balancing these two, making sure they're decent levels is a priority for your sleep too. If estrogen's high, then you want to try those cruciferous veggies to get them out, a bit more fiber and liver support to flush out that excess estrogen. If both are low, then you want to consider body identical HRT or adding phytoestrogens into your diet so that you can try and get those up to where they should be. Then serotonin and melatonin, get outside every morning to get that daylight on your skin. That stimulates that serotonin production. It's really hard at the moment, it's getting darker, but get outside if you can. And limit that artificial light at night so that allows your melatonin to be produced. Thirdly, good nutrition, always at the basis of everything I say. Eating that nutrient-rich diet, taking good quality supplements. So in addition to my top 5 basic supplements, I'll link that in here if you want to go and have a look at those. There is a formula that I've been really loving recently by Feel. It's called Feel Sleep, and it's a teaspoon of powder in a glass of water or plant milk or whatever at night. That has been having really good results in our clinic. Or you can try CBD oil as well. I'm a big fan of that too. Those two are my go-tos for sleep problems. And then lastly, make sure you've got some good sleep rules. Make sure you have a good routine before bed. Don't stay up or eat too late. Make your room dark and cool. Ban those gadgets. Avoid the news and thrillers that might be stimulating your brain too much. Limit that caffeine and alcohol, and try a relaxing meditation or some breath work before bed. They can be really helpful. There's some really good apps out there for that kind of stuff. Sleep and menopause can be a tricky combination, but if you follow these steps, I really hope that your sleep will improve. And if you would like to dig a bit deeper and find out more about which hormones are out of balance and how we test for those, do drop me a message or go onto the website through the contact form, and we will get some information sent over to you. Hope you're doing well. I'll see you very soon. Bye.